It was a night of heartbreak and high drama, of crushing defeats and triumphant returns, a microcosm of everything that makes sports simultaneously excruciating and exhilarating. The St. Louis Blues, a franchise defined by resilience and won Stanley Cup glory not so long ago, found themselves on the wrong end of one of the most painful postseason exits in recent NHL history. Up by 2 goals in the opening period of a decisive Game 7 against the Winnipeg Jets, St. Louis appeared poised to advance, to relive some version of 2019's magical run that ended with Captain Alex Pietrangelo hoisting the cup in Boston. But what followed was a collapse that will be etched into the memory of Blues fans for generations. Winnipeg stormed back, clawing to within 1, and then, stunningly, with just 3 seconds left in regulation, they found the equalizer. It was the latest game-tying goal ever scored in a Game 7. A dagger. And in double overtime, the dagger twisted. The Jets scored again, ending the Blues season and silencing a fan base that had dared to believe. It wasn't just a loss, it was a meltdown, an unraveling that unfolded on hockey's biggest stage. The pain is palpable. In the emotionally charged aftermath, blame and frustration float to the surface. There was trolling, of course. This is sports, after all. Gloria, the ironic anthem that soundtracked St. Louis' Cup run, played mockingly. Faces twisted in knowing grins. Producers and co-hosts subtly stoking the fire. But beneath the joking was raw emotion. Hurt people, someone quipped, and the sentiment rang true. Because this wasn't just a game, it was a gut punch delivered at the cruelest possible moment. When you're minutes away from moving on and instead, you're going home. And for Jordan Binnington, once the hero of that 2019 title run with an ice-cold Game 7 performance against Boston, it was a bitter bookend, his last Game 7, a career-defining triumph. This one, a haunting echo of what once was. Meanwhile, in a completely different arena, another set of legacies was taking shape. The Golden State Warriors, championed several times over and architects of the modern NBA Dynasty, reminded the world that their DNA is built for moments like this. Facing a relentless and upstart Houston Rockets squad that stormed back from a 3-1 deficit to force Game 7, Golden State responded not with panic, but with poise. Led not by Steph and Curry, though his 22 points were critical, but by Buddy Hield, who delivered an incandescent performance with 33 points and 9 three-pointers. The Warriors left no doubt. It was a rout by the end, 103-89, and a reminder that when the lights are brightest, championship habits shine through. But the real heartbeat of the team, the emotional metronome, remained Draymond Green. Polarizing, passionate, and perpetually towing the line of controversy, Draymond once again made headlines, not just for his 16 points and physical presence, but for another flagrant foul, this time involving Fred VanVleet. It's become almost comically predictable, Draymond finding new, creative ways to test the limits of what's allowed. And yet, Warriors insiders will tell you they need this edge. Without it, they're not the same. It's part of what makes them who they are. It fuels the locker room, sets the tone, and galvanizes a unit. Steve Kerr acknowledges much, crediting a players' only meeting led by Green, Curry, and Jimmy Butler, a fiery recalibration that may have saved their season. That's what veteran leadership looks like. That's what culture looks like. And for the Rockets, it was a reality check. Talent is not enough in Game 7s. You need scars. You need to know the cost of losing. Houston, brimming with youth and talent, was simply not prepared for the full-force physicality and relentless attention to detail required at this stage. This wasn't the regular season. This wasn't even a typical playoff game. This was Game 7, where every possession becomes a battle, every misrotation a potential fatal wound. Now, with the Rockets vanquished, the Warriors shift their focus to a colossal second-round showdown against the Minnesota Timberwolves, a series already being billed as a potential all-time classic. And while the Warriors rarely enter any postseason series as underdogs, the T-Wolves may be a unique matchup nightmare. Rudy Gobert's presence in the paint, Karl-Anthony Towns' versatility, Anthony Edwards' emerging superstardom. It's a different kind of test. And yet, Golden State will likely lean into their trademark small ball lineups, hoping to play Gobert off the court and dictate tempo with their unmatched spacing and ball movement. Still, Don't expect this to be a clean series. With Draymond Green involved, the expectation of another suspension hangs like storm clouds on the horizon. If Gobert and Green collide, figuratively or literally, it could change the entire complexion of the matchup. But that's the drama we live for. That's the unpredictability that defines postseason basketball. As the dust settles on one of the darkest nights in St. Louis hockey history, and the sun rises on a Warriors squad reborn in the crucible of pressure, one thing is clear. The playoffs never lie. They reveal, they test, they break some, and they elevate others. For the Blues, it's heartbreak. For the Rockets, a hard-earned lesson. And for the Warriors, it's once again time to chase greatness.